As Simi and Minjun walked along the forest path back to camp, the soft crunch of fallen leaves echoed beneath their steps. A late afternoon breeze rustled the trees, and the sunlight slanted through the branches in warm golden streaks. Their voices rose and fell in easy conversation, laughter slipping between words like background music. "So," Minjun said with a sideways glance, "you never did say what your treasure hunting strategy was." Simi laughed, rolling her eyes. "You mean getting hopelessly lost and accidentally stumbling into my childhood friend?" Minjun smirked. "Solid strategy. Very original." She gave him a playful nudge with her elbow. "Well, I don't see you holding any treasures either." "I was distracted," he said with mock seriousness, placing a hand over his chest like a wounded hero. "Oh, really? By what?" "The squirrels?" she teased. "Nope," he said, looking at her more pointedly now. "By something. More unexpected." Simi raised an eyebrow but said nothing. There was a small silence, comfortable, humming with a hint of curiosity, before she quickly changed the subject. "Anyway, I was hoping to win," she sighed with mock regret. "I can offer you a consolation prize," he said with a playful bow. "An exclusive seat next to me on the ride back home." Simi chuckled. "That sounds like punishment." "Oh, come on, I'm charming company." "Debatable," he grinned. "You'll come around." "Keep dreaming, soul boy." Just then, a sharp whistle rang out through the trees. They both paused. "That's the signal," Simi said. "End of the hunt," Minjun replied, slinging his backpack over one shoulder. "Let's go see who beat us." They started walking again, leaves crunching beneath their shoes. But the teasing grin on Minjun's face lingered, and the warmth of Simi's laughter stayed with him. At camp, students gathered around the main cabin, some sweaty and grass-stained, others still proudly clutching their found items. The air buzzed with chatter as Mr. Han, one of the PE teachers, stood on a wooden stool, waving a clipboard. "Attention, everyone!" His voice rang out in accented English, followed by Korean. "모두 집중하세요!" The crowd quieted. "After counting and verifying all found items, we have our winners for the treasure hunt." He held the clipboard aloft. "With 4 items each, congratulations to Hannah Choi and Leo Anderson." Applause and cheers erupted. Hannah, with her brown bangs sticking slightly to her forehead from the hike, gasped and turned to Leo with wide eyes. "We actually won?" she asked. Leo, brushing his blonde fringe aside, laughed. "Of course we did. Team Genius, remember?" Hannah rolled her eyes but smiled brightly. "I carried the team, though." Mr. Han raised a hand. "Winners, please come forward." They stepped up, grinning. Mr. Han handed them each a sleek, black, multifunctional flashlight power bank. "Very useful for next time," he said. "And very shiny," Leo added, flashing the light in Hannah's face. "Hey," she protested, swatting at him as the crowd laughed. Miss Jian, one of the English teachers, stepped forward. "And for all of you, because you worked hard today, we're treating everyone to a bonfire night." The announcement was met with loud cheers and even a few excited screams. Later that evening, the bonfire crackled at the heart of the camp. Flames danced high into the night, casting flickering shadows on happy faces. Students sat on mats and logs arranged in a wide circle. Soft music played in the background from a Bluetooth speaker. Some Korean indie songs mixed with Afro beats and pop hits. Simi sat on a log near the fire, gently roasting a marshmallow. She was flanked by Lisa on one side and Minjun on the other. The warmth of the fire mixed with the comfort of belonging made her feel relaxed, her usual guard lowered. "You're really good at blending in," Lisa said, popping a toasted marshmallow in her mouth. Her blonde curls glowed in the firelight. Simi smiled. "I've moved around a lot. You learn fast." Lisa nodded. "Still, I admire that, and your accent is so cool." "Thanks," Simi replied. "I think yours is cute too." Minjun leaned closer, his voice soft. "Do you ever miss Nigeria?" "All the time," she said, surprised by the sincerity of her answer. "But this place isn't so bad." They exchanged a small smile, warm and unspoken. Nearby, Hannah was perched beside Leo, laughing as he tried, and failed, to mimic a K-pop dance during a mini talent show. "You look ridiculous," she teased. Leo grinned. "And yet somehow still charming?" Hannah blinked, surprised by how her heart fluttered. "In your dreams, Leo." He raised an eyebrow. "Maybe. You show me yours, and I'll show you mine." She gasped. "You are the worst." But she was smiling. During the campfire games, "Truth or dare," someone yelled. Simi groaned. "Oh no, this never ends well." "Exactly," Lisa giggled. When it was Minjun's turn, he chose truth. "Who here would you ask out if we weren't at camp?" one of the boys called. Gasps and laughter filled the air. Minjun hesitated, then glanced at Simi. "She already knows." The group went, "Ooh," while Simi's eyes widened. "You're so annoying," she muttered, trying not to blush. Leo, watching from across the circle, tilted his head slightly. His eyes lingered a second longer on Simi before he turned his attention back to Hana, who seemed to be watching him instead. The students didn't sleep in their resort rooms that night, but somehow still stalked to their roommates in their outdoor shared tents. In their shared tent, Simi, Lisa, and Hana lay side by side, wrapped in cozy sleeping bags, still giggling from the night's chaos. "I'm still full from all that teokbokki," Lisa groaned. "My stomach is literally singing." Simi laughed. "Mine is humming Afrobeats." "Mine is plotting revenge," Hana added dramatically. They all burst into laughter. After a quiet pause, Hana spoke softly. "This was actually one of the best nights I've had in a while." Lisa nodded. "Yeah, I'm really glad we're roommates." Simi smiled at the ceiling of the tent. "Me too." Days later, and school was back on, midterms were around the corner, and the pressure in the halls of the school was palpable. Posters for cram classes were pinned on every bulletin board. Students clutched textbooks like lifelines, and even the usual lunchtime chatter was replaced with whispers of formulas and essay prompts. SIMISOLA groaned as she flopped onto the bench outside the science block. "If I see one more graph on oxidation, I'll cry." Minjun, seated beside her, raised a brow. "You can cry first, then I'll explain it. Again." She shot him a side glance, half annoyed, half amused. "You sound like my personal tormentor." "Flattered," he smirked. Before she could respond, Hana appeared, arms loaded with notebooks and a determined look on her face. Her brown hair was in two low buns, bangs neatly framing her forehead, and her lips formed a line of focus. "There you are," she said, slightly breathless. "Study group. Today, after school, no excuses." SIMISOLA blinked. "Study group?" Hana nodded fiercely. "Yes, I'm not going down alone this midterm season." "Minjun, you're in." "Simi, you need it." "Lisa and two others are already in. We'll meet at the campus cafe. You know, the one with the bean bags and hot chocolate?" "Come on, it'll be fun." Minjun opened his mouth to protest, but Hana beat him to it. "No arguments, Minjun. You owe me for that time I helped you avoid detention for accidentally hacking into the morning announcements." SIMISOLA's eyes widened. "Wait, what?" "Old news." Minjun muttered. Hana turned to SIMISOLA, putting on her best puppy eyes. "Please, Simi, we can make flashcards, quiz each other, maybe even sneak in a K-drama break." SIMISOLA laughed. "You had me at K-drama." Later that afternoon, the group gathered at the cozy cafe library hybrid located off the east wing of campus. Strings of fairy lights flickered softly above bean bags, wooden tables, and cushioned seats nestled near bookshelves. Lisa was already curled up near a window seat with her blonde hair pulled into a messy bun. Highlighters scattered in front of her. "This is cute," she said. "Cozy pain." Minjun arrived with SIMISOLA, tossing his bag onto the table and sinking into a chair beside her. "Let the suffering begin." "Optimism," Hana declared, placing a whiteboard in the middle with a small marker. "I brought snacks too. Gimbap, banana chips, and chocolate-covered almonds." SIMISOLA grabbed a piece. "You're a queen." The group fell into a rhythm of flashcards, quizzes, and laughter. Hana made an excellent, if dramatic, quizmaster. Lisa was surprisingly good at mnemonics, and SIMISOLA found herself actually understanding concepts she had previously dreaded. Then the cafe door opened. "Hey, is this the legendary study group?" Leo's voice carried across the room. Everyone turned. Leo, with his tousled blonde hair, his signature hoodie, and that laid-back grin, strolled in like he'd been invited. Lisa perked up immediately. "Leo, what are you doing here?" she asked, genuinely surprised. "I ran into Hana in the hallway earlier," he said, though his eyes flicked briefly to SIMISOLA, "and I thought I'd crash the party. Didn't want to miss out." Hana's face lit up like a 1,000-watt bulb. "Of course! Sit here, next to me." Leo gave her a friendly smile, but slid into the seat on SIMISOLA's other side instead, casually bumping her shoulder. "Hope you don't mind. Heard you're the brain behind oxidation now." SIMISOLA chuckled awkwardly, more like the confused student with excellent guesswork. Minjun, who had been leaning back in his chair, suddenly sat up straighter. His eyes were locked on Leo's easy interaction with SIMISOLA. "So," Minjun said, voice flat, Since when do you care about oxidation? Leo shrugged, unfazed. Since now. Simi makes it sound fun. Hana giggled too loudly. Right. Simi's so cool like that. Min Jun's jaw tensed, but he said nothing. He picked up a flashcard and pretended to focus on it, but his eyes kept darting towards SIMISOLA and Leo.